Hey, I'm Kev, and welcome to Raceroom Racing Experience as we're going around the circuit Paul Ricard with the Fauna Raceroom X-17 there, kind of equivalent of an F1 car, of a current spec F1 car as well. It's got the body work, but it's a bit of a shorter wheelbase, not as wide. It's a bit of a nagging looking thing, it's a bit more aesthetic pleasing, at least at my eyes. But it's also got a 3-litre V10 engine in the back from the early thousands, which produces 950 brake horsepower. It's also got DRS, which has got the Formula Renault rules actually. You can use it anywhere as long as you're within a second of the car in front at the start-finish line. And it's also got traction control just like the early thousands. So it's a bit of a mishmash of things, the Formula Raceroom X-17, but it's fantastic to drive, and we're starting 14th against 19 AI opponents, set to 110% difficulty. Let's see what we can do if we can battle our way through the field. So here we are on the grid, waiting for the light step here. And go out. For this 15-lap race, as we're a bit slow to get away, we've already lost one position. Let's try and go around the outside around this circuit. As he got the fast left in third gear and right in third gear. Get on the power quickly. Now we look down the inside, probably our best passing spot coming up. And we were a bit bashful into the monster car. We've also got the Castrol car. There's a gap there to go between two cars, but it looks like the monster car's held us off. We have made it back up to 13th. So we're just outside the points. As they go down the Montreal straight, 1.8 kilometres on, but we've got the chicane in the middle. Braking a bit early. Go wheel to wheel with the Castrol car again. Trying to hold it around the outside. And they do just hold on to 13th. The AI a bit weird, these single-seater cars. Sometimes misbehave. That erratically, as that was very erratic going into that corner. I've got the GoPro car in front. On this, sneaks by another car. Well, he's left the door open into the left. So get that position back. Get from the GoPro car as well. Very slow over the curb. Now heading into the final corner. Got a car on the inside. Try and take the outside, but we go a bit too wide. The monster car gets back. Looks like it's a Patronus car being very slow. We've got DRS. And look at the line in front. Going to be joining in with that lot. Look at that. 4 wide. It felt like. We've got the monster car now. Being very aggressive on the brakes as we get into 10th. Got a car alongside us though. And we've got held up by the silver car. That's allowed the Samsung car to get by us, sneaking by. Into 10th, so we're battling for the final point. We're having some fantastic battles just in the opening stage of this race. I've got to use DRS, I know. Let's break around 70 metres into the chicane. And it's all about hooking up that inside curb. Get on the power as early as you can. There you go, let's use DRS, let's try and get by. As I've done a wide on different compounds in each site. Got white sidewall tyres, which I guess is the medium. We've got yellows, which I guess is the soft. So we do settle into 11th in each site. Looking up that inside curve. I want to do it on a couple corners. Looking up that inside curve can help turn the car around. Don't want to do it on too many curves, so a couple of what do you call them? Kind of slippery curves. Push your car away. Let's get DRS again. Let's activate it. And towards the first corner, not a passing spot. Kane, you're taking third gear as the almost got alongside there, had to back out there. And you go over the crest, creating the blind, but you can get the power early. Not close enough to make a move into the right. Take that normally in third, but we've got down to second. And then you're just flown through this section. And then through the right. Get down to second, just hook up that apex, then get on the power as quickly as you can. Short shift up to third. Then down this straight, get your DRS on before the chicane in the middle. Going to brake around 70 metres. It's almost into the back of the Samsung car in front. So we messed up the chicane. We've got a 2-second gap behind, so we're not nicking behind, we're nicking in front. We're going a second faster than our previous fastest lap, as I probably should have got rid of DRS. Despite that corner being flat out, fearsome corner. Now in this last section, this is where I lose out to our opponents. We're not doing too bad in the moment. It's the final corner, especially that right-hander. We can gain up time in this sector. Look at that, they've gone wide through the left. We've got a beautiful slipstream. Let's try and grab a point then. Was actually look to the left. That was our wall. That's not very helpful at all. So we do go down the inside and we do grab 10th. As this is a sector where we're strongest and in a bit in that last corner as well. But mostly in the twist of the end of the lap, it is all about our opponents. And look at this, we've got a gaggle in front. So if I get on the power relatively early, get our DRS on, look to the left. I do not see our opponents. They're almost a second behind already. Is Rain. So do lock up the front tyres slightly. Got a couple of cars going slow. Because that's a totally legal move. Why are you frowning at me? Get our DRS off. Going round the outside. Have we done it? We have. Now we go slightly wide on the exit. You can see that opponent in our ring mirrors. We've made it up to 8th. Didn't expect the race to go this well. I mean, in practice before this, I was doing 38s, approaching the 37s as well. Except I did that lap off course slightly. And then we've just done a 38.8. So we're definitely in the rhythm at the moment on this 5th lap. Having a fantastic race through the field. Well, I thought I'd show off this car because, one, I like my single seaters, open readers. I wouldn't say they're my forte, but I do really enjoy it. And this car is fantastic. So, as I said, being a mishmash of different scenes. And that V10 is lovely. That was a lovely corner though. Took too much cover. As I said, sometimes you want to be doing that around this circuit. And we're second and a half back. We've got to gain some time if we want DRS on the next lap. So pushing the rev limiter as well. Being aggressive through the chicane. There we go, we gained that half-second back. And these cars are fantastic to drive, as you would expect. Very high downforce, got to be very aggressive. As I said, despite the AI sometimes being a bit weird in these cars, it's still good fun, just a hot lap as well. Just doing in practice around this track. As I said, the cars look a bit nicer tomorrow because the cars in real are so elongated. Wheelbase got increased for this year. So they look incredibly long. We'll get DRS again. Yeah, the cars are very wide at 2 metres, which I don't mind. I always wanted them to go back to 2 metres. At 1.8 metres, and it's a bit thin to my eyes. So go back to 2 metres is totally fine. Same width for, say, an Indy car. And it's very good as well. So go down the back straight. Yeah, these cars handle lovely. Great power, great traction, just as I would expect these cars to handle. So, great job, Raceroom, that's all. Car in front messed up. The Tronus car. And as I said, going a bit weird again. You see them make a mistake going all over the place. It's very erratic. We're up to 7th. Maybe charge for the top 5 now. We've got a couple cars in front. Even though we've got that Patronus car pushing us. So they're driving like we're tin tops, but we're single seaters. Of course, Raceroom perhaps more focused for tin tops as well, with the touring car license in recent years, DTM, ADAC. Some classic tin tops as well. We just covered the margin, of course, with GT3 cars has now had it recently. Definitely got to give them a go. It's definitely what Sector 3 are focused on, it looks like. But they do have a few single seaters, such as this X-17 Formula 2 car, Formula 3, Formula 4, and then the Indy car as well. So they got good range here of single seaters. And a Formula Ford. A wingless Formula Ford as well. So very interesting to try that car out. You've got a second half gap behind to Moreno. I do like that at the top, that you've got that kind of scoring bar, a bit like ESPN. Something. That's a good turn in the second part. The chicane, and look at that slipstream. Going to get rid of DRS earlier as we're going down the inside wheel to wheel at 150 miles per hour. Into the AI do actually race well, just have their moments. Unfortunately, got 2 committed there into the first part of that double right. And that double right reminds me of corner at Manicourt, another circuit which held the French Grand Prix. The corner after the Nürburgring chicane, a high-speed chicane as well. Again, the Mercedes going very slow. Holding us up. So 39. Let's get the DRS on. Not close enough to make a move, maybe. There goes my inner honey badger, Daniel Ricciardo. Still wheel to wheel. And that's how we actually got through now. So we're up to 6th. And look at that, you've got the train in front. And we're only halfway through this race. I even dared to dream of a podium this race. It's going much better than I expected. As I said, battling this AI with these single seaters a bit hit and miss, but it's going well at the moment. And I'm enjoying being back in Raceroom. I've driven this for a while. They've had so many improvements, so much content added. I didn't believe the amount of content the sim had. So I looked at what all I bought. I took advantage of the deals on the premium pack. An unbelievable amount of content. As I said, still lots of development to do though as we run wide. Might allow the Tronus car back by. So hold the inside and push them out of room. But yeah, they're just having content all the time as well with the GT cars. Earlier this year, not just with this X-17, they've had it other single seaters. Lots of Swedish tracks as well in homage, as you don't get DRS, 1.9 seconds back. We're over a second gap behind. In homage to the kind of old GTR2 days that the old Sim Big company, of course, they produce those titles. Fantastic titles. It's definitely changed down to second a bit too late there. I've pressed the DRS button even though I don't have it. I've gotten used to it now, but yeah, fantastic range of content as I've described. You've got some older vehicles as well. Got LMP, prototypes, GTO, lots of content, lots to come as well from Sector 3. Same with circuits, rise all over the world. Some circuits you don't actually get in other sim titles, such as Macau. You got that because of the World Touring Car license. Like Moscow Race Ray, Slovakia Wing, which is one of my favourite modern circuits. Great variety. Definitely want to show you more of it as well. The sights were not very good on the power. That was a good lap until that final corner. Just under the 39s. We've gone to the 10th for that. This race is flying by. So yeah, very much looking forward to show you more Raceroom Racing Experience content. Not just single seats, so I said loads of team tops in this game. Or sim game. So we're taking too much curve there. But I thought I'd show you Paul Ricard with these Formula cars because, of course, the French Grand Prix is returning next year after a decade away. When it was last held at the Manicourt circuit. And it wasn't the most popular circuit, I would say. By the end of its life cycle, it's remote, not many fans turned up. Not many teams liked it because of its location. And it didn't produce the best races, I would say. Even though I had a fantastic opportunity in that first set to be fast, heading onto the back straight into the hairpin. You saw quite a few moves there, but mostly not very memorable race. Even though one of my most memorable races growing up actually happened there in 1999. Still my favourite F1 season. Because it was just a crazy season. Seriously, Hollywood, get on that season. By 1999, you had a wet qualifying, so if you went out early, you were qualifying well, and that's what happened to Rubens Barrichello grabbing Stewart's. I believe that was their only pole they got in F1. Well, they became Jaguar at the end of the season. And John Alesi in the Sauber, which was horrendous that season. Grabbing a front row starting spot even though he messed up in the race. But then the race was all about strategy because it was raining. Of course, out the Ferraris, they weren't competitive at all. In fact, Irvine had to let Schumacher by the last few laps of that race for 5th place. If he didn't do that, of course, late in the season, Schumacher had his injury, came back to support Irvine for the title. And in Japan, he could have let Irvine through 4 seconds, and then Irvine would have won the title by a point in that final race in Japan, instead of Häkkinen, of course, grabbing the title by around 4 points. It was in the end. So yeah, that one race did help decide the championship. Of course, you wouldn't have known that, because Schumacher was definitely number 1. But then, of course, it changed in the next race in Silverstone. Even though Irvine was only around, I think, 6 points behind Schumacher at that stage, he was still very much in the title fight himself. As David Coulthard, Häkkinen's number 2, was having all sorts of issues with luck. Even though he's a very good driver, Coulthard, of course, he did win the next race at Silverstone from Irvine. Just never came together for Coulthard when it needed to for him to win the title. Here we go for the top 5. Ricciardo, not quite. We are forced him wide. So you can dive down the inside into the right-hander. Very aggressive, too aggressive. So we're losing the rear slightly. Because tyres are worn. Still, we're less than around 5 seconds off the leader, which is not bad. So in that French Grand Prix of 1999, with the weather, Jordan gambled, fueled it up, and Heinz-Harald Frentzen won the race. I think that was his first for Jordan, wasn't it? Of course, one late in the season at Monza when Häkkinen made his infamous mistake. He tried to hide in the trees, but you can never hide from journalists, I don't think. He got found out, unfortunately. So yeah, Frentzen and Jordan won a race from under the noses, it felt like, of Häkkinen, who made mistakes in that race. Argue had the fastest car, but didn't have the best strategy. And from Barrichello, who perhaps had the best overall package to win it, but Stewart just didn't get the strategy right. They had to make a late stop, a late splash and dash, otherwise they would have won that. Stewart, and it wouldn't have been Herbert who grabbed their only victory, it would have been Barrichello instead for their first victory. Of course, Herbert won another crazy race at the Nürburgring later in the season, which ended Frentzen's title hopes when his car broke down when he was leading just after his pit stop. The Jordan, or his first pit stop. And of course, Häkkinen had to fight through the field again, where strategy messed up for Häkkinen. For Ferrari of Irvine, where for like 30 seconds they decided, Ferrari, whether to put a fourth wheel on his car. It was ridiculous. Of course you put 4 wheels on their front car. Still one of the stupidest things I've ever seen in F1, that debate. Which again maybe cost Irvine the title, despite Häkkinen not having a good year all lined up for him to win that title. Same for Hamilton in 2008 when he didn't have his best season, but neither did Massa. It just went for Hamilton to win the titles. We've made a horrocks of passing for 5th. Too much curve again. Got to dive down the inside. Where's the lock though? He's got our friend in 7th right on our tail now. Let's head on to the penultimate lap of the race. And so it's good seeing the French Grand Prix return to the calendar. Next year, of course, the spiritual home of Grand Prix racing. First edition back in the early 20th century. 1906 to 1908. I'll probably get it wrong. So it's one of those years. So you finally take over 5th in next side. Hook up that curve, it helped to get the car turned around. Get hard on the power. We've got a 3-second gap in front. We've got the leader 5.5 seconds in front of us, but we're battling for 5th. We can go round our outside, we'll cover that off. I'm not sure what to think of Paul Ricard though. It was a circuit opened in 1970 when it was a modern facility, having this closed circuit facility with modern facilities. Of course, a very different era in the 70s, having a circuit like this, but 20 years later, Paul Ricard was a bit older, it was replaced by another circuit which was said to be modern, with modern facilities in Manicourt after the 1990 version. So gone wide, no! Oh, we're going to the back of the 18. And now we're glued to him. No, there goes our point. Of course I couldn't last the whole race without screwing up. So on to the final lap. We get DRS. Let's see what we can do. So yeah, not sure what to think for Paul Ricard. It's one of the first circuits to really embrace tarmac rules, as you can see, with this blue zone and in red zone. It's a bit weird to look at.
Some days I think it looks good, and then others I think, what the heck? But I'm just happy to see the French Grand Prix return, and just interested to see how the F1 cars tackle this circuit. I don't see there'll be much overtaking. Of course, that doesn't really happen much now, does it? 50% down for 2016. Of course, the cars that are 3 seconds faster than 2016. All that had it downforce, no surprise at all. Paddy will really have to produce entertainment tires to make this race entertaining, perhaps. Well, good to see French Grand Prix return, and I don't think there's nowhere else where it could really return. Manny Cole went to this returning back there, as I said. Most of the races weren't entertaining, had its odd moments, its odd races, but overall, not really. And of course, most of the old French Grand Prix held on public roads like Reims and Rouen and Charades. I think that's how you say it. Back in 1972, one of the last Grand Prix on the old style. So it's where we went to cities such as this. But we end the race in 11th after battling for the top 5. It's a pretty good race. Well done to Dominguez, winning for Castrol. And I hope you enjoyed seeing the X-17 in anger race round the circuit pool car for 15 laps. Definitely got a bit of a sweat on. And that was good fun, despite, as I said, messing up near the end there, as we were driving as the French driver in the Mobile 1 car there, number 20. But that's my thoughts on this vehicle, on Raceroom, a bit on Paul Ricard, so I'll talk about that more in depth. Hopefully Power still returns next year. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.